What's up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. It's almost that time of the week of the Go Battle League season where the leagues will rotate, and the most common league that everyone is always wondering, what should I run? The Open Great League is next up. Now, some of you guys might also be fans of the Play Pokemon circuit. You see amazing players like Dunebug, like Lyle Jeffs this season, dominating players over in Europe like an Adequince, Arceus Aurelius, a new champion this year. Well, some players that don't get as much exposure, except maybe at the World Championships, are those in Japan. And I know firsthand, some of the very best trainers in the world come from Japan in this game, and they have a very different system of how they qualify for the World Championships. So, who better to shine some light on the Go Battle League season and some teams you can run in the Open Great League to gain elo than some of the top trainers from Japan. So without further ado, here is the graphic brought to you by Mr. Inadequince, and we're going to get things going right away. I had the privilege of meeting a lot of these Japanese trainers last year at the World Championships in Yokohama, Japan. And we're going to start off with Luminous, who had a very deep run, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even like as far as top 8 last season. And he is rocking Azumarill with Furfrou and Ferrothorn. This is not, at least I don't believe this is for the Jungle Cup. This is for Open Great League, he was asked. And Furfrou is a very funny safe switch, running Sand Attack as well as Surf and Grass Knot usually is the standard moveset. And Ferrothorn, of course, is a solid grass type, which you don't see as much anymore, but that steel typing really helping it against some of the normal types like Lickitung, and has that thunder coverage where it's a grass type that still has play against Skarmory. We move on to Crescent Angels, one person who I consider personally like one of the best players in the world. When we talk about that discussion, I think right now most people consider Dunebug the best player in the world, and rightfully so. He's won 3 regional championships this season and second place in EUIC. So he's averaging like 1.4 like placing over his last 5 tournaments or something. Just an absolute insane battler. But Crescent Angels not only is consistently at the very top of the GBL, I think he's literally number 1 on the GBL leaderboard right now as we're speaking, and also was 3rd place at the first World Championships and had a nice run at last year's World Championships. So just an incredible battler. And he's running a more standard meta team of Shadow Gligar with Annihilate Safe Swap and Skarmory in back. This team seems a little bit more like ABC. You don't like necessarily have to swap out of a neutral lead because Annihilate and Skarmory cover each other quite well. So I kind of like the look of this team from Crescent Angels. I might try it myself with a more of a ABC team where you're not forced to swap out. And that's what the description says as well. Versatile team that covers ice types in the back, and Annihilate runs Night Slash for faster pacing. Tetsuo 106, the next opponent, another Japanese Championship Series qualified player. He's running Vigoroth with Shadow Gligar and Trevenant. Trevenant you don't see as much as you used to. It used to be super meta. Seed Bomb got nerfed, so it's a little bit slower to get there now. But Trevenant's still a very solid option, and one of those Pokemon that, ever since it lost popularity, some teams disrespect and are quite weak to. I mean, look at the team from Luminous, right? That team's a little bit ABA weak to a Trevenant. So, a very solid-looking team here. We see another Shadow Gligar, which might be like the best Pokemon right now in the Open Great League. So if you guys haven't built a Shadow Gligar yet and you have a good one, highly recommend investing in one. And then, of course, Vigoroth is a very neutral pick as well. The description says Gligar baits out the ice type or Lickitung, so that Trevenant on the back can sweep. Makes a lot of sense. If there's an ice type, Gligar will definitely be greeted by it on the swap, and then hopefully Trev can sweep in the back. Next, Trainer. 315 Katunari 315. Not familiar with this trainer personally, but they are Japanese Championship Series qualified. I do recognize the name. I'm just not sure if I've met them before. And they're running Whiscash with Lickitung and Mantine. I could see this team being more ABB style, where you kind of have to swap the Lickitung to lure out like a Registeel if there is one. But that being said, 3 really strong Pokemon, 3 bulky Pokemon. So I encourage when I haven't done much coaching lately, but when I do coaching, I recommend for newer players to run more bulky teams because it's not quite as important as when you're going to use your protect shields and such. So I think a bulky team like this can be a little bit more easy to use when you're learning a new team. We will slowly scroll down. Let's see. I'll reveal 2 more teams here. We got a couple of Mantine-led teams. Next trainer, Ishikawa Boy, one of the funniest human beings I have ever met. This guy was the life of the party at a social we had in Osaka this year. He came up right up to me, introduced himself, and was super nice, was super friendly. And I really enjoyed meeting Ishikawa Boy. He's also known for writing incredible spice. This man, back when team sheets were not open, so you didn't know what movesets your opponent was running, he ran a Purified Sableye running Power Gem. Like, who in their right mind would think to shield a potential Power Gem when it's a Purified Sableye? So a very clever pick by him. And he is running Mantine, Shadow Quagsire, and Hakamo. And looks like he's running the Aqua Tail Stone Edge combination on Quagsire, which seems to be the go-to right now in the Go Battle League. Aqua Tail just incredibly fast pacing, and with that Shadow boost from Quagsire, still hits relatively hard, especially since Aqua Tail got buffed recently. Mantine, of course, on the lead. I could see certain steel types being a little bit annoying for this team, but the description says this versatile off-meta team can catch many teams off guard, and that's the pro with running off-meta, is it's going to be tough for your opponent to predict what's in the back and might provide you with a little bit of that advantage. Next trainer, Chiodo, running Mantine, Lickitung, and Whiscash. Literally the same exact team as Katunari, but in reverse. So not a whole lot to say about this team. If you saw like a Red Steel lead, yeah, that's what the description says as well. The Red Steel lead is tough, but Mantine and Lickitung can make a very strong core versus most of the meta. And like I always say, or like I say from time to time, there are going to be teams that have a glaring weakness to certain leads, but Red Steel isn't really as common as it used to be, in my opinion. So you're willing to take that weakness where you're probably going to lose to a Red Steel lead, but how many Red Steel leads are you really going to see? And if you're seeing a lot of favorable leads for the Mantine, then maybe this team could be really successful for you. We have 2 more teams to close it out. Oh man, I might struggle to pronounce this trainer's name, so my apologies, but I'll give it a shot. Kaku Zatoho. Apologies, my man, if I'm mispronouncing it, but they are running Charjabug, Annihilate, and Shadow Abomasnow. This team seems awfully weak to like a Talonflame, in my opinion. Awfully weak to Talonflame, but I guess like Charjabug has play, Annihilate has some play against Talonflame. And I had a lot of success in the last Great League rotation running Charjabug myself. I think it has a lot of play against like the Mantines, the Charjabugs, the Lanterns. It does pretty well. Vigoroth, it does pretty well. Skarmory. So I think Charjabug has a lot of play in the current meta. A Gligar lead could also be quite tough here. So a bit of an off-meta team. You could also spice it up with running like Crunch on the lead for Charjabug, and then Gligar isn't as bad, so you could like stay in and soft lose that matchup. Definitely an interesting team here. Bit of a weirder one in my opinion because of the ABA weakness to certain things and like the weakness to Talonflame, but you never know. I literally just posted a double poison video where my whole team is like weak to Whiscash. So not every team is going to make perfect sense, and a cool, unique team here from Kakuzatoho. Finally, we have Mr. Pokimichi. I first heard of this player back from the Gym Breakers circuit. If you're not familiar with Gym Breakers, it's like a grassroots format, which is like a World Cup, basically, kind of like the FIFA World Cup, where every country builds a team and they compete against other countries. It's a really cool format. With Play Pokemon taking over, I think our team, Team USA, has lost a little bit of motivation, or we're not putting much time into it, but it's still a fun format nonetheless that I enjoy. And Pokimichi, I remember playing against Japan, and he destroyed me 3-0. It was a 3-0, and like, it wasn't a close 3-0. He just destroyed me every single battle. I think I was able to beat him the next time we faced off, but I remember that first meeting against Pokimichi, who I hadn't heard of, just absolutely walloped me. and he is running Vigoroth, Lantern, and Altaria. 3 strong Pokemon, of course. We've seen a few Vigoroth leads among these teams. Lantern as the safe switch is a little bit bold, right? Because if you get countered by some grass types or a Whiscash, it could be tough. But here's the thing. Even if you do get countered by like a grass type or a Whiscash, you have that Altaria to potentially get a big farm down, and maybe that energy can go a long way with the Altaria. So I will probably try out some of these teams myself. Let me know in the comments which one of these teams you find the coolest, which team you think you'll try for yourselves as the Great League rotates. I'll leave a link to Inadequence's Twitter in the description for the full team graphic if you want to download it onto your phone or whatnot. But all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. If you are new, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.